A celebrated actor, superstar in his own right. His movies, whichever language they release, he becomes a slightly higher rated star and a heartthrob. Dulquer Salmaan is with us, and we also have a celebrated director, a storyteller, who's decided that let's break the mold a little. Now, why are they here? Because they have a movie which says Chup, and we're going to talk about Chup. So, Balki sir and Dulquer Salmaan, the conversation that we're going to have around, you've come to a news channel and you're sitting with a person who does debate shows every day, but I love talking movies. But we said, let's put some thought around this whole construct around what we're going to speak. So it's about, can critics dictate cinema? And then Balki sir added something before we went to roll. He said, who's going to rate the critics or call out the critics? So that's where the whole construct comes in. But serial killer, you're a heartthrob, I agree, but a movie which is around a serial killer who's out to get critics, how did you get into that? And you say yes to it, is it?
No, I think there's always this broader conversation around actors and, us playing to our safe zones or comfort zones and not breaking the mold or not pushing yourself. So, and the trouble is, at some point or the other, we get boxed in some kind of image that is kind of built organically. Or maybe we've done stuff that works for us. And invariably, you keep getting offered films in that zone. So on the rare occasion that somebody like Balki sir offers you something so out of the box, literally, you just jump at it, And I also believe that the audiences who watch me and watch my films give me the encouragement to really push myself, to try different things. Because I think they also want to see how much I can push myself. So I think it's also an opportunity for me to kind of discover my own range, to see if I can convincingly pull it off or have the conviction to play different roles in different films.
You jumped at it, or you jumped to say, me? Why me?
Exactly that. I was like, how did you think of me in this film?
So how did you think of him in this film? So Dhanush, Dulquer, so something to do with D's now as a trend.
I never thought of it that way. No, actually, if you see the film, because it's a thriller, so it's difficult to say exactly what in the character that...
Is he the killer?
No, watch the film to find out.
So it's a difficult thing to say, but very simple. I think he is a remarkable talent, and when you see the film, he's very humble and he's very understated and he's this. But he's the only guy, fundamentally, in any language that he works in, he's part of that language. He speaks, of course, all the languages, as well as anybody from that state or that language can speak. And secondly, I think his pitch of performance is the most beautiful I've seen. It's very understated, it's very casual. Even the most, deep and profound things, it's extreme casualness. It's very today, it's very pitched so right. And sometimes a lot of people do these understated stuff, but they don't have the throw. He has that understated thing with a lot of throw. So that's a very rare kind of quality, and he's one of those very rare actors in Indian cinema who's got that.
कॉलर वाला शर्ट पहनना चाहिए था डुल्कर ना कॉलर उठा सकता था देखो बाल्की सर क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं but what do you agree, do you believe that critics need to rein it in a little?
I think
does it worry you, does it bother you?
No, not really. I see, more or less, obviously not to pinpoint particular critics, but if you take the average critic rating or the general opinion of a film, it's not very off from the actual film. And a lot of the times they're not telling us anything that we don't already know. If we feel there's a problem in the film or there's a problem area in the film, we already know this. And either we were not able to fix it for some reason, or we couldn't go back and shoot it, or somehow we identified it too late. But they're not going to really point out something we don't already know. But there are times when there's different agendas and people kind of go after certain films, or so those I think are a little insensitive because it's a film is never it belongs to one person. There's so many of us involved in the film, so it's disheartening if a film is being pulled down, even if you personally don't like somebody. It can be something as simple as that. Like somebody just doesn't like my face. And therefore doesn't.
Or perhaps they like your face a little too much to get your attention. They just decide, let me just go after it.
That also.
Possible, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
how can he be so good looking? And when is he going to give me some attention? Let me just pan him. Let me get his attention.
Yeah, I'm sure
Has that happened with you?
For sure.
Somebody comes after you just because they want your attention.
I think that is the case a lot of the time. At least that is the advised, more mature, experienced people have told me. They're like, you know why they're coming after you, because there's obviously something there, or it's a way for them to gain attention or clicks or whatever it is.
Get your attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So you asked your dad sometime how to deal with this?
My dad's best examples are, there were some critics in the 80s who were out to get me, who said they'll finish me off and that he's done and all of this jazz. And he's like, and now I don't even know where they are. I don't hear their names anymore. I don't know if they're still around, but I'm still here. Now I'm sure there's some new critics after me. So it is true. I've been here 10 years. I don't know if it's the same people attacking me from the first 3 years or attacking me now. So there's something there. When you read it, you feel kind of picked on or affected. But you
read all the criticism. You don't just block it. You read
I read everything. I should probably block them, but
doesn't affect you? Doesn't affect you?
I think it drives me. It affects me. Like, definitely shows my face. My family knows when I'm looking a little off, and they're like, "Stop reading." They don't even ask me questions. They know it's from my reading. But I genuinely think that's my drive. When people ask me how I'm juggling so many films, or like how I'm constantly working this much or putting out so many films, like this is my 4th or 5th release in the course of a year. I think this is the drive. And
that you do so much work that they will not be able to criticize you.
You can't criticize every film. No? Every film is different. Every role is different. So like I keep giving them new things to pick on or something, or let them find something. But it won't be the same opinion every time.
ये इस जनरेशन का कीड़ा है. You must have really felt it, no? When somebody, I remember that line कि इस movie में चीनी कम है, something like that they had said, no? Remember? And I was like, कौन है भाई ये picture तो देख ले, उसके बाद decide कर लेगा.
But that's such an easy thing to say, no? It's like
No, but I'm just saying
like
that.
Just play on the title of a film.
Correct.
It's like the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, but my point is that people who write it like that, on what basis are they writing it?
Because they'll write lots of things. They can say audience ne chup kara diya, chup ko. Something.
Chup kara
Anything they can say. That's the way they are. That's part of the fun writing. That is not an issue.
But is it fair that somebody who's not part of the movie process, somebody who's not contributed anything to it, can sit and perhaps then decide the fate of the movie? Is that fair?
You're talking of critics,
yeah,
the professional critics. See, I think they have a job to do. They are professional critics. You're paid to analyze a film and tell people how to look at this film, what to like about it, what they feel it, and guide people towards and away from certain things. Because otherwise you just see the same thing over and over again. But what happens sometimes, and not sometimes, most of the time is, there are some critics, there are many kinds of people. Some people say, I'm watching it exactly like the audience. You're not supposed to watch it like the audience. To watch it like the audience, there is the audience. They don't need you.
Correct.
Okay, you're supposed to watch it from a different point of view to add value to what the audience is thinking or feeling. I'd rather upgrade their level of entertainment, or take it to a new direction, or kind of expose them to newer things. Nothing like that happens a lot of times. And a lot of times what happens is you are almost writing and talking as if you are the judgment passer on something which doesn't belong to you. So you forget your job as one of responsibility, and you you think of it as power. That reeks in the writing. What angers me is, you just say, you smile, or even if you don't like some food or something, you say, nice. No, it's okay, fine, I don't want anything more. That's all you say. You don't say, now I've got the power to tell you whether your food is good or not. I've served you. And you're telling me I'm eating and saying, I will tell you whether it's shit or not. That's not the reason why I served it to you. I served it to enjoy. If you didn't enjoy it so much, don't eat more. Say something politely. I'm not asking you